So moving on to the next part, which is technically a trailer in its own right, but it is on part of the MassEffect.com website, which is part of the orientation, and literally it's titled Orientation Briefing. Now, it's about just over 2 minutes long, and it does come up with a few more interesting details. It gives us the name for the arcs, how many there are, the name of the lady on the moon, which is one that's been going around for quite a while, and a few other details as well. So myself and Rima have been through that trailer as well, and we're going to go through that briefly as well. So, okay. Rima.
It seems to kind of continue on from the trailer that we saw just prior to N7 Day with Daddy Rider, kind of the initiation video when he's trying to recruit people.
Yes.
And it basically feels like it was basically they were doing like a recruitment session, and they were like, let's just film my orientation right after you do your thing.
Yeah.
And they just continued on from there. They're still on the moon. Now she says that her name is Jen. We said Jen Garson. We're not entirely sure because she says it like Jen Garson, and you're like, oh.
Yeah, the Jen part is in debate because she says it a bit weird and the music kind of muffles it a bit.
Yeah.
But we think it's Jen Garson. We think it's
Jen Garson, yeah. And she's, at this point, she is with N7 Daddy Rider there. Mm-hmm. We kind of thought that maybe she seems to be taking kind of some kind of lead role. So whether she's either the founder, lead scientist, project leader.
Yeah, she does say she's the founder of the Andromeda Initiative, or at least one of them.
Yeah, so she seems to be. She's obviously one of the higher ups, probably the highest up, and then it seems like she's at least got a good working partnership with the father of some form.
Yeah.
So basically she says that the Andromeda Initiative is important, and I noted that she did say for all the races of the Milky Way. So she does preface that it's basically like imperative that we'll be seeing most of the races of the Milky Way, which was kind of already confirmed, I guess.
Yeah.
And she says again it's a one-way trip, which we already knew again from Aaron Flynn earlier about the PS4 Pro gameplay. He did say it was going to be a one-way trip, so we knew that already. Then they said the video is really cool because it's almost like they're doing like a VR session with you, right?
Yeah, it looks like a holodeck kind of thing.
Yeah, because they're on the moon, but the moon then transforms into like
the inside of
into the arc,
yeah.
Where like you see when you first saw Fem Rider waking up in the EA Play trailer, it's the same room, which makes me think, were they ever on the moon?
Yeah, that's a good point actually. Yeah, maybe it's
were they ever on the moon, or were they actually just in some kind of holodeck somewhere? Anyway, yeah. So she goes in this room and she says 600 years of cryo, and you'll end up on the outskirts of the Andromeda galaxy. So that kind of gives a bit more elaboration to what he meant about 600 years from where we stand. It literally means 600 years from when they depart. It's going to take them 600 years to travel to Andromeda galaxy. So, which is fine, because that will kind of correlate to something else we're going to talk about in, I guess, another video about the timeline and things like that.
Yes, so, we're recording that one straight after this one. So,
yes.
Yeah.
She then says that most of you will be on the Hyperion, which kind of makes it sound like it's the main arc for humanity, and the rest will be on the Nexus with Jen. She will be on the Nexus. And then she does say that there will be the Hyperion, the Nexus, and 3 other arcs. Was that right?
Yes.
3 other arcs. So it seems like in total you'll have 4 arcs and the Nexus. The Nexus seems like a massive structure, more like a base.
Yeah.
And from the looks of it, it kind of looks like home base. And as we said, Nexus is kind of the base term meaning for Nexus is like central focal point where conjoining things enter. So it's center. So it's kind of like feeling like it'll be like the Citadel in a way. It'll be your home center, home base, base of operations kind of thing. And she does say that each arc will be for a different species, so it feels like on the Hyperion, you're most likely going to see only humans. But it's funny though, in the trailer, at the start when you see everything kind of going a bit crazy and everything's exploding, you do see an Asari and a human together.
True.
So maybe each arc is differently led by different teams. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, they could maybe they make some match once they get to like a planet or something. Who
I
knows?
don't know. I have no idea how the structure is, but she does say which each arc being for a different species. But mind you, some species might need different like requirements. So like if you're taking Turians along with you, or the Quarians, they may need like obviously different environments, dextrose, things like that. So maybe that's what they're thinking. Then they talk about the Pathfinder being a mix of being a soldier, an elite scientist, and a guide. And it makes it sound like the Pathfinder is kind of like the lead of each arc of a form. Like they're very important, almost like a captain in a sense. And And each arc will head to a golden world. And about 1 minute 6 seconds in, they talk about how we'll be going to the Helios cluster, which is now basically being confirmed. It was in the leak anyway, but it's been confirmed. That's where we're heading. And then they talk about how over the next coming months we will hear about things like schematics, about different places, new weaponry. Talks about the Pathfinders being an elite group and team that will help kind of lead the arcs. So whether the Pathfinder is just one person and then they have a team, or whether you have a group of Pathfinders per arc, no idea, but it's interesting.
Yeah.
And then she kind of closes out the video, basically saying like it's a new goal for humanity, things like that, kind of going on the same message as Daddy Biter did. And then he's there in the shot, and then that's pretty much it, saying like come and join us, that kind of stuff. And the only other thing to note is that this is not engine captured, it's basically just for the orientation video, so that's not what we're going to see.
So that's definitely not in engine. So
but yeah, that's pretty much it. It gives you a lot more information about, I guess, the structure of the Andromeda Initiative.
Yes.
In a sense, it gives you a lot more idea of who and what we'll be dealing with when we go there. So it seems like a bigger operation than I thought it was going to be.
Oh yeah, this is like on... I mean, yes, there's only like 5 ships in total going, but the arcs themselves seem massive, but the Nexus is
huge.
Humongous.
Because you see the arcs next to it and they look like babies compared to the Nexus. So God knows how much that can hold. How many people that can hold.
Yeah. There's a lot of people going by the looks of it, so...
Yeah, so that's the analysis for the orientation video. If anyone hasn't seen it, there is apparently, you have to do 6 steps to kind of unlock some gear for when you get Mass Effect Andromeda.
Yes, you can unlock...
a helmet or something.
If you get the link and go onto the Andromeda Initiative part of the Mass Effect website, you can go through 6 steps on the orientation section, and if you get all 6 steps, that will unlock an Andromeda Initiative helmet to unlock in-game. So, yeah, there's that.
But
as
we
well.
also say that keep an eye on your emails, because I think they've said that something will come to your email if you did sign up to be an insider. So we haven't received anything.
We haven't received anything yet. We don't know what that's all about, but they did say to keep an eye out on people's inboxes and things. So hopefully at some point we'll have news on that as well. And yeah, that's about it. So let us know what you think. As always, you can subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on all things Mass Effect, and you can help the channel to grow by sharing the video too. Thanks for listening and for watching. We'll see you again very soon.